Hey everybody, Bonehead for the Bonehead podcast, and we've got something very cool for you today. So, if you like orcs, if you like black orcs, if you like Mad Max, the thought of combining those two, do you know what? If you're an orc player, you probably already thought about it. What if you had a Mad Max Gorkamorka style Blood Bowl team that you could pick up right now on Tribes, that was made by a sculptor that you already know and already trust? UGNI has dropped his most recent product on Frontiers, which is like Kickstarter but for STLs, and it is amazing. So we were very lucky, we got some of the files early and we did this. How unnecessary is this? So we've got a Mad Max themed Black Orc team here from UGNI Miniatures. It is, let's make my face go away. It is live on my mini factory now. It's backed. The way this works on a mini factory tribe is kind of like Kickstarter. They do a crowdfund, you buy it, and then they release the STLs straight to your My Mini Factory if they're available, or at the end of the campaign if they're not. And it's so very cool. So this is still going on. It's going on until the 4th of March, and it is by UGNI Miniatures. So Ivan's got a little breakdown there, but I mean, you know UGNI. We've been following UGNI for a while. We sold UGNI through the store for a while because some of their teams are absolutely phenomenal. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at the My Mini Factory page, look at the stretch goals, look at the tiers, and then more importantly, we'll have a quick look at the STLs, but we want to be looking at the models really, because we've got some, and not just the massive orc truck, which is just unnecessary and I love it, but we've got some of the models. We've printed some of the models so we can do the scale test and show off some of the details we've got. So meet the Black Orc team in Mad Max style. So he says Mad Max style. You've got this kind of classic Gorkamorka orcs with welded bits of metal everywhere, just feeling really, really orky. This, you know, with some guns and stuff, this would feel very much 40k, but it's not like the traditional Road Warrior Mad Max. This is the new style, Witness Me style Mad Max. So the whole vibe is just wasteland warriors, which is just, I mean, you've seen the truck now, it's been brought together by the truck. So you've got different tiers. I mean, it's $15 to $20. Let's have a look at the team. So you get 8 goblins. So it is a Black Orc team. Although there's some chats and comments trying to get him to add the missing orc positionals just to really flex out the team. So you've got a whole bunch of goblins. Now, when it comes to the goblins here, they're a little bit exaggerated. They're a little bit cartoony in like a grimdark style, which I love. And I can tell you that these models, although I don't know what I've done with it, they will take contrast and paint very, very, very easily. And because of the style of this team, you just, yeah, you got some proper inks or something on it, and it's just it just pops. The detail really, really, really pops. He's added a little extra depth into the detail that you can kind of see. You can see on the goblin faces there. Like, you're looking at this and, oh, is that tires? They've got tires for shoulder pads. That's wicked. So you've got like the exaggerated bits, you've got boot spikes, you've got all kinds of stuff, but really this is going to be the best model in the whole kit. All right, the truck's cool. The guitar player with the flame is cool too. But the Witness Me goblin? Now you're talking. All right, we've got 6 orcs here as well. And Ivan's got additional alt sculpts for these, I think, as stretch goals as well, which is pretty cool. So 6 black orcs with 6 different poses. And all of them have got like this weird kind of robot style to them. So there's like that wasteland. It's just Gorkamorka style. It's just Gorkamorka. Like if the dude had put out a truck and a buggy, as well as like the massive music truck, we'd all be playing this. Which like as Gorkamorka. So you got a couple of the big lads there. They've got like springs and girders and things for armor. Big old chompy jaws. It's just the most orc team. It's just the most orc team, like 40k orc with a K. And then there's a troll. Now, I made a massive mistake. I didn't print the guy with the goblin because you've got this troll. You've got the troll. The troll is very cool. He's got all the armor bits you'd expect, bits of metal, jagged bits, pikey bits, just like a load of cool bits of like just some really cool detail that we'll have a look at in a second. And he comes with an optional hat, and the optional hat is a goblin with bike handlebars and a chainsaw as a flipping hat, like as like a proper mixture of like the Mad Max, you know, you got the little dude on the shoulders of the big dude. It's just Master Blaster, I think he's called. It's just so cool. Like, I love it when sculptors go in on a theme and just really kind of add stuff and just there you go. Each model has been meticulously crafted with every gritty detail, spikes, raw armor, fierce faces and street style, everything that makes them true wasteland warriors. It is. Then all right, so that's the team. Okay, you've got an awesome troll with an optional goblin hat. You've got 6 big old black orcs with all the wasteland gribblies and a whole bunch of goblins to go with it. So straight off, you've got a full team there. Then you've got some extra cool bits here. And the orc rock band is worth backing by itself. Now, I will, full disclosure, this lad took, I've got a few Saturn 2s, as you'll know, took a few prints. This team took 4 prints, 4 plates of S2 to build the truck and the band and the team, and I tell you what, that's a lot of resin. It's flipping worth it. You've seen the spinny. You've seen the spinny of the big old truck. Chef's kiss. So this is the band truck. This is the monster truck that rolls along with them, turning every battle into full-blown performance. Get you gone, sir. And it comes in a whole bunch of pieces, but we've geared it up like this. You've got a little goblin with a flag. You've got a goblin with a flame-throwing guitar. You've got another orc with a guitar. You've got an orc with a flame-throwing keytar, which is just so cool. You've got like a... Oh, actually, I think I might have forgot to put the microphone on. You've got a little goblin with drums. You've got all these speakers, and this is just such a cool wagon. I don't get to print very many vehicles being a primarily Blood Bowl player, and I'm sold. Now, the band is separate as well, so you can use them for your cheerleaders and things like that. You can chuck them in the crowd of your stadiums, which is very, very, very cool as well. Now, one thing I thought Ivan did really well is this, which you will need if you're printing the truck, because you're going to need to know how it goes together. This little video was so helpful because it does come in quite a few pieces, and you've got to drain the pieces and all this kind of stuff, and it's really, really, really well done. So a huge fan of that, and he's even gone to the trouble of having some painted examples there, and it is just a very, very, it might be digitally painted, I don't care though, they look great. I like the scheme, actually. I do like the scheme. This is interesting. I don't need another Black Orc team. I got too many Black Orc teams. I only need 1 Black Orc team, but sometimes you need more. Oh, look at it. Why did I not print that off? That looks so good. That looks so good. That's so cool. All right, love that. We got a whole lot of very cool trolls in Blood Bowl, and that is just very, very, very cool. So it does say that it's ready to print. All the files are supported and verified, and I will tell you, I didn't support any of this by myself. I just used the supported files. So a couple of things on the supported files. UGNI, excellent supports. When I do these videos, I will use the pre-supported versions wherever possible so that I can tell you whether they work or not. And they do work. They're a little bit more dense than they normally are, which is good on the one hand because you're very unlikely to get a failed print. But on the other hand, it takes a little bit extra time to clean up. But I don't think I lost any goblins. I don't think I did. I didn't lose any goblins. All the models look really intact. We've been printing UGNI stuff for a while. The supports are excellent. But most importantly, like the truck supports, everything printed perfectly first time. I didn't have to worry about anything. The only thing I had to worry about was fitting it all on the flipping plate. So we got some milestones. You got the balls, tokens, team markers, Black Orc, alternate designs have started to be unlocked. I am wrong. They have been fully unlocked. Then you've got the apothecary. Then we've got the coach, which we might just have to show off. And then we've got the star player, which we might have to show off. So UGNI, I'm so sorry if we're not supposed to show those off, but we're gonna. Okay, let's have a quick look at some of the STLs because they are worth checking out. So this is, I think, an entire Black Orc team. So the way I positioned this on the set, turn 2, I think I had the entire team. I've whipped them off. I'm pretty sure you get Chitu box, pre-supported STLs, and non-supported STLs. But I have grabbed these, removed the STLs, so that we can have a proper look at the models. So let's start with one of the Black Orcs, because they are very, very, very cool. So the renders do them full justice. And the fact that UGNI's got the paint, like the digitally painted versions on the tribe, you know, it shows just as much as you can get as looking at them from this point of view. But you can kind of, I wanted to show off for those of you that aren't going to get a chance to look at the renders, it's just a beautiful job. You've got a bit of the sports stuff, you've got the cleats, you've got the stripes, and then you've just got a ton of gribbly. Honestly, like, I know it's Mad Max, but it's 40k vibe. So if UGNI ever gets into making sci-fi stuff, I am going to be a little bit poor. I've said this about a couple of the main sculptors. UGNI, Brute Fun, they start dropping fantasy or sci-fi military stuff, like, you know, for 40k or whatever, I am in a lot of trouble, because I am going to be printing everything like that. Whoa, come back, little goblin. So you can see, I mean, I don't know what to show you that you haven't already seen. The troll is missing from this, but it's just so cool. Like, you grab these STLs and you have a look, you can look at some of the sculpts, and you can just see he's done such a good job of executing the theme. He's got these gribbly goblins. All right, there's the guy. This is the guy who is just absolutely phenomenal. Really, probably my favorite sculpt, because it's got, if you've seen, I don't know which one it is. Is it Fury Road, the Mad Max 4, whatever? The whole Witness Me vibe that he's managed to stick in here with just a couple of cans of aerosol. It is wicked. Oh, and here's the orc with the robot arm. Big fan of that as well. Like, you get this cyborgs, and cyber orcs is something in 40k. He's got a messed up face. It's just so good. Like, I don't need to show you the STLs that are supported, because I'm going to show you the models that came from that. So the sculpts are wicked, the renders do them justice, and the files as supported work beautifully too. Okay, it's time. Let's have a look at the prints themselves. And this, we're going to start with the big boy. We're going to start with the troll here. And I've done a bit of a bad job cleaning it up. I haven't taken away as much of the supports as I should have done, but I was just excited to get them on a base. I've given a light airbrushing with white, just to try and help bring out some of the details on camera. And I think you can see here's a chunky boy. So this is a 40mm base. You've got all that extra armor piece there. You've got the big sock, and you've got his broken socks there as well. So just well impressed with all of these models, and the troll is kind of the centerpiece of the team. Now for the scale size, this is a Games Workshop Black Orc. This is an ugly wasteland troll. So it's a 40mm base over the top. He's plenty big enough. You know what I'm like with the big guys. I tend to scale them up 110%. Honestly, I don't think it's really necessary, and you're probably sitting there thinking it never really is, Ben. As far as playability goes, he's probably bang on. As far as paintability goes, look at it. Like, those of you out there who, I don't know, maybe you don't like painting very much, with just a light dusting of an airbrush, thank you airbrush, you can see all the detail that's come up. And you're telling me that you don't fancy just grabbing a bit of contrast and getting this team painted up really, really quickly and really, really nicely? That's what's so dangerous about these. So that's the troll. We've got a few of the Black Orcs. Now, what I will say about the Black Orcs is, there you go, you can see some of the detail on there. And like I said, I've not done the best job in tidying up the STLs, tidying up the prints, but that's just with a few supports. You can see the main detail there is absolutely bang on. And again, a light dusting of white, you can see everything. Like, oh, this is it, like a light dusting of white, and you can just contrast your way into having a team painted in no time at all. So great posing, great additional armor. I went for a couple of different poses of the Black Orc. Not gonna lie, I printed the whole lot out, 4 lots, and just cherry picked some of the models. I probably should just stop. Man, I like printing the whole lot so I can pick which of the models I like the best. And these two are kind of like quintessential orc poses. You got another one here, absolutely just chonking it down. The cool thing I like is he's got the good texture there of the enhance, whoop, there you go, of the steel girders on the bits of spike and stuff like this. This is wicked. Like Games Workshop it would take a lot of gluing to make that happen with a Games Workshop kit. 3D printing, no problem at all. So size-wise, they're a little bit smaller than the Games Workshop Black Orcs. I don't think it robs them of anything, especially when you look at them overhead, and then when you compare them to like a Goblin or something, the scale is just, it's really not a problem. I would, if I wanted them to match the Games Workshop, you want to scale this up probably 105, 110%, but they're not missing for it, so it's not terrible in that regard. So 3 Black Orcs that we've got to show off here. They're brilliant models. I'm really impressed with them. Let's have a look at some Goblins. So I've gone with 3 different Goblin sculpts here to show off. This guy with his little leg, absolutely unnecessary, which is very cool. Very dynamic pose as well. Very dynamic, good characteristics on the face there. Again, it's the kind of thing that when you do the whole like 2-foot check, like 24 inches, sitting down on the table, looking across the pitch, it's going to pop really nicely. We're going to hold off for the Witness Me Goblin. I went for this one as well. Nice dynamic pose. Again, really good detail, really strong face, really strong action in the model that, again, when you look across the pitch from, it's going to be really cool. But this is my boy. This is my boy. This is the Witness Me Goblin. They're spraying with the aerosol, and I don't know, like this is just, it just really captures the theme for me. And as we go to the super zoom, which is probably way too zoomed, you can see this is the Saturn 2 0.04, I think, standard settings other than that, and you can see how well the sculpt has come out. There's a few bits of support you've got to clear up, but he's got a tattoo on his shoulder that's kind of like welded in. And you can see that's come out already as well, even if the focus of the camera is struggling with the macro shot a little bit. But look, it's just so good. Let's have a quick check at the scale. We've got a Black Orc Goblin, and these Goblins are perfect. Absolutely perfectly scaled. They're a bit bigger than the Games Workshop Goblins, but it suits them. They're a bit lankier. They look more like teenagers to the Orcs, like adults. And it works brilliantly for these kind of players. So we've got a little Goblin on that side, and you've got the Catcher Goblin here. And it just, yeah, the size of these is absolutely perfect. If you put them up against a Black Orc, they are way small. Like, they are obviously the stunties. And it works absolutely brilliantly. So we've gone through some Goblins, we've gone through the Troll, we've gone through the Black Orcs. Now, there's a couple of models that haven't been unlocked yet that we're going to be unlocking. Here we go. I'm sure we'll unlock. First of all is the coach. So this goes on the top of the truck, or is your coach model. And if you've watched Mad Max, you will understand absolutely the inspiration for this model. It's the cool mask, it's the greasy hair, it's the abs of steel. This is a wicked and kind of reminiscent of old school 40k orcs. And it works really, 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 really well. You've got the cool coach there, and we've got the star player, which is just massive. Like, he's a big lad. He's bigger than the standard Games Workshop Black Orcs, and he's got a ton of detail. Like, he almost, this guy, if he had a mega claw, he would fit so perfectly in 40k. And look at how well the detailing there of his mesh vest has come out. These models are so good. The star player, I hope we get that unlocked, because that is definitely worth doing. All right, I am confident that I had you with the big truck spinning around, because the big truck drew me to this. Like, I was like, dude, I've got to have the STL for that, please, like, so I can print it. You can see it there. It is massive. It is massive. It is unnecessary. But what is necessary is this whole team. It's a very unique orc style. It just absolutely smacks of goth rock, and that is something that I don't think we've seen in Blood Bowl. It takes a good dose of that Mad Max Wasteland vibe, a good dose of 40k orcs, and puts it together in a very succinct Blood Bowl team package. I love it. Fantastic. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.